Okay, so these cards were the ones that I wanted you to do the other day, and I'm not sure if it worked or not. So we are just going to go over some today, and I'm going to give you some different cards to practice with. So when I looked at our star writing test, the question that most of us did the worst on were questions about how is the sentence written correctly, or how do I combine the sentences. And so this was some strategies that we are practicing in class, and so I want you to see how to do that so that you're prepared and know what to do also. So I want to take this first one, and typically it would say sentence 2 is not written correctly. How could you fix it? Or something like that. But in these task cards, we're just looking at A, B, C, and D, and we're going, okay, what is wrong with A? What is wrong with B, C, or D? So the first thing we have to learn is that sentences have fragments. Sometimes sentences are what we call fragment sentences, and that means it's not a complete thought. Either it's missing the subject, or it's missing the predicate, the action part of the sentence, or it's missing the who. Sometimes it's what we call a run-on sentence, and it's like it just keeps going and you run out of breath as you read that sentence, and because it's missing punctuation. Sometimes we have just two simple sentences, and somebody wrote this story or this sentence, and they really tried to make it complex, but really we could just break it into two very simple sentences. And so we're going to go through and look at some different kinds and kind of the strategy of what to do. So A says, my sister and I went bowling and we went to the movies. So first of all, we don't need to repeat we and my sister and I. We already know who you're talking about. And it just puts, and we went to the movies. And so it's missing the punctuation. So I would circle this part right here if it was my paper test and put an X through it, because that's the part that makes that sentence wrong. My sister and I went bowling. We also went to the movies. So we also kind of sounds funny there, so I would circle it and mark it out. My sister and I went bowling and then to the movies. And you notice right here, it doesn't use repetition of who. The who just does two actions. Went bowling and the movies. So this one is correct. And D says, my sister and I went, period. Well, there's no action there. So this period right here, I would put X on it and lets me know that it is wrong. Let me see if I can find another one. You guys did really good at being able to add the comma conjunction, so I don't feel like we need to go over that super much. Let's see. Trying to find some that you would have. Okay, this one is a good example of how sometimes the correct answer is just two simple sentences. Like there's not a really good way to combine them together. So let's look at A. The JP Morgan Chase Tower is the largest building in Texas. It is 1,000 feet, and it is located in Houston. Well, right here I have way too many periods, so I need to circle that, mark it out, circle that, mark it out. That's way too many sentences broken up. B, the JP Morgan Chase Tower is the largest building in Texas at 1,000 feet. Period. It is located in Houston. So in B is correct because it tells me about the building and where it's located. At 1,000 feet is a prepositional phrase, so it's just giving me extra information about it, so that is fine. It is located in Houston. And it tells me what is located somewhere. We look at C. Located in Houston. Well, I don't know what is located in Houston. So this is a fragment. So I'll put an F right here, and we would not want to pick an answer choice that has an F with it. The JP Morgan Chase Tower is the largest building in Texas in 1,000 feet and is located in Houston. That, my friends, is what we call a run-on sentence. So I would put an R beside that for run-on. So again, this is just a good example of sometimes two sentences is the correct answer if they're both complete. All right, let's look at this one and then I'll let you do some practice on your own. It says, my little sister has a favorite TV show since it is Sesame Street. Common sense. That doesn't make sense. My little sister has a favorite TV show and it is Sesame Street. Okay, we wouldn't want to repeat it because we already know, well, they're telling me it and Sesame Street in the same thing. C, so the comma and would be wrong there. My little sister's favorite TV show is Sesame Street. Does it tell me whose favorite show it is? Yes. Does it tell me what? Yes. So that is a complete sentence. And you see how this is the shortest answer and it was still correct. I didn't have to have a comma conjunction, just a simple sentence. My little sister has a favorite TV show. It is Sesame Street. That's a run-on. So I'm going to let you do some practice with this. I just kind of wanted to talk about what a fragment is. A fragment sentence means it's incomplete. It doesn't have a subject or a predicate, one or the other. A run-on means it just keeps running on and on and on. And then we have what we call a simple sentence or a comma conjunction sentence.